Hello, everybody. Aloha Friday. Welcome to Life with Paulette. Wow, today, guys, this was the first that I had a situation on my Walmart Spark delivery that I felt a little probably awkward and strange at this delivery. And welcome to another Shmoney Talk. It's the 2nd of January, guys. This is day number 2, and we are still making this money, and we are in the bag. But I just wanted to drop by just to let you guys know how situations work. Every delivery is going to be different, okay? Not all delivery is going to be created equal, and I just want everybody to know that part, okay? Because I just had a situation and I felt a little bit awkward. I know that everybody's coming off of the holiday, the New Year's, and alcohol is still high, okay? However, though, I felt a little bit uncomfortable on this delivery. It was a Walmart Spark pickup. The drop off, everything was a perfect delivery. When you get those nice little ones, you're like, man, this is perfection. I get to the house and they have 4 different house, A, B, C, and D. Well, this house was D, all the way in the back. So I go all the way in the back, and when I get to the house, I noticed it said D. Well, it had the front of the house, and then it had their driveway. A guy who seemed intoxicated comes out of the driveway. He just looked a little bit off to me. I know in your spirit just said, well, my spirit was like, and he said, come to the back, like bring it in the back. Well, I had a big old dog food plus extra groceries. I'm like, well, if I get on the driveway, it's easier for me to pick it up and put it on the concrete. Guys, I go and I said, my mind says, don't go all the way into the driveway just in case I can't back up, just in case something crazy go on. When your mind is telling you, don't put yourself in no situation now because you can get in, but if the driveway was so narrow, I may not be able to get back out if I had gone too far in. And he just looked intoxicated. So I get there, he comes over the car, and you know the ones when they can't look you in the eye. So he's looking down and he's like, no, he's mumbling, and I'm like, this joker is, let me just put on my armor. I cropped my hat back just in case I could see him, because I had my hat like this. I was like, no, let me do this just in case I gotta do the do's. He comes out and he's like, the order, and I'm looking at him, but the lady name that's on the order is Patricia. This is the guy that comes to me to my car on the opposite side, is looking at me, looking down, telling me, hey, where's the order? And I was like, hello, sir, may I speak to Miss Patricia? Because I'm thinking this house could be split in 2, one side and the other side. So D could have been out to the front, and then F could have been the other half of the house. These people over here in the country, their houses is all numbered all different type of way. So I'm asking him, is this D? He said, yes, it's the whole house. And so he have an attitude. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to have no conversation with him because he have an issue already, right? I call the lady. I get back in my car, which was the smartest thing to do. I'm not going to argue with somebody that seems intoxicated and not all mentally here. He didn't look like somebody with special needs, because I would been able to detect, okay, he had special needs. No, he just had a bad attitude. So he comes out, and then I got in my car and closed my door in their driveway now, halfway through their driveway, and I call the lady. So she comes out half, with her little ratchet going on. So she comes out, she's like, yeah, I'm Patricia, hand him the order. And now I'm like, oh, both of y'all look a little funny to me. I get the order. He comes out. Now he's upset with me because I didn't give him the order the first time. So when people have that low self-esteem, you just look at them a little bit funny and they're feeling all out of place. So he felt out of place. So he come back out of the house and he say, this is Patricia, this is the orders for her. Why you didn't give it to me? And I'm like, I'm not going to answer this guy. I'm not going to say anything to him. I just started to pray immediately in the spirit, because I was like, Lord, my car is halfway on this driveway in this little alley, but it was a driveway, and for me to get back out of here. What if? You never know the what if. I'm looking around like, okay, yes, I can scream. Yeah, I'm looking at, well, if he come at me, I'm going to, listen, bob and weave, we're going to do some bob and weaving, and I'm going to make sure I get the first hit first. I know we're holding these. We ain't supposed to. You ain't supposed to, but I'm just saying, when you are up against the wall, you better figure it out quick. And I was like looking like, okay, let's see what we're gonna do. Let me see if I have to, then I'm gonna have to, and I know I'm just kidding with you guys. Ain't no way I'm gonna try to tussle anybody, but I'm just saying, if you have to, if you're put in a rock and a hard place and you gotta do some bob and weaving, you better make sure, and you better cut hard. Okay, so he comes around, and I'm serious now, because all my smile that I had on my face at the beginning is gone, because I'm like, you have an attitude with me. The order's not even for you. You feel intimidated because I asked you for the person that the order name was on the order, and it wasn't you, and you feel offended now, so you want to come with yourself, like, to show me. Anyway, long story short, the lady comes out. I handed them the order. When I handed her the order, he comes back around to my car. I'm still on my driver's side just in case I gotta jump, to drive out of there. And I opened up the back of my car, and I'm looking still, but in the back of my car, I always have something just in case there's a dolly in the back there that's easy and flexible. If I had to do my little, I guess he would have gotten his side of the head if he had tried something, but he didn't, and he just never smiled at me, never said anything to me. Long story short, it's the first of the year. There's a lot of people going to be out there upset for all the monies that they spent during the holiday, and now they got to go work for it, and they haven't gotten a lot of sleep, so they're going to take it out. Let the small stuff derail you from moving forward. And I know a lot of times we can get hiccups in our life that shock us and try to divert us from the aim that we're heading. But I'm here to tell y'all, I didn't skip a beat. By the time I delivered his stuff and I looked him in the eye and I rebuked him in the name of Jesus Christ, let me tell you, he walked in that house, and I even gave him a thank you afterwards, like thank you very much, and he looked at me, and he walked in with that dog food across his back and all the other 4 or 5 bags that was there. Moral of the story is, second day of the year, people are going to be coming around with their attitude, with all their baggages, with the things that they did not fulfill from last year. They're dragging the baggage this year. Some people are still going to be intoxicated. Some folks is going to have where they're just in their feelings, and do not let nothing distract you from the main picture. I have things that I need to accomplish, so you're not going to derail me from the mission, okay? You're just part of the process, and in order for me to complete my mission, my dreams, my goals that I want to accomplish, you're just part of that step to move me from point A to point B. And if sometimes you're going to have to tolerate bad behaviors, to get you in your bag. Sometimes you're going to have to tolerate people and misconduct. You don't have to, but I'm just saying, that's just part of the game. It's part of the process. If you're, yes, the other day we were having a conversation, and one of my sisters was like, you have why you focusing on, doing the gig economy when you don't have to? And I was like, freedom. Because I'm my own boss, I'm self-employed. I did all the climbing the ladder. I did all of that, guys, but it's no freedom. You are attached to a desk with a plant, and you got to tolerate bad behaviors from people. So I'm used to bad behaviors, nasty co-workers, bitter bosses. I'm used to all of that. So now in the gig economy, the only difference is that you're the boss. You're your own boss, so you're going to know how much you want to tolerate for that day. If I was wimpish, I would have just turned off and been like, oh my gosh, he came out, he didn't say hi back to me, and he grumbled at me. And listen, I'm in my bag. You could, as long as you don't come in my space, we good to go. You can stay over there, and I ignore you like nothing happened. But I was just bringing that up because this new year, there's a lot of this is going to be going on, and I'm so glad that I am not in no 9 to 5, because if I was, people are coming in there and just bringing problems, having attitude, having situations that they can't deal with because, their finance is not right, or their families are not right, and their relationships is not right. So they're bringing their attitude and it's coming on a 10. Okay, so be cautious, be careful, ask for patience sometime, and asking for patience. These are just part of the scenarios, part of the examples that you're going to have to go through and you're going to have to master. Okay, because yes, I prayed last year. I was like, Lord, I need more patience. Give me patience, Lord. And boy, did he put me in some situations that I'm like, man, if I didn't ask for this. But then you got to overcome it too, because you ask for it, you got to make sure that you're overcoming it. Sometimes you ask for the patience, and then you get the scenario and you're like, okay, I forget about it, never mind, send me something else. I don't want patient anymore, I want something else. And then you ask for that, and then the scenario again. Everything you ask the Lord for, you're going to get it, but there's a process in order to get to the next level that you got to cross. I shared this story a few months ago in regards to everybody have their own crosses, and you're complaining about your cross and how heavy it is, and you're like, Lord, I want my cross a little shorter. Can you take off a little extra load off of it? And he cut it smaller for you just to fix it and adjust you in your comfortable position. And we are asking him to make it lighter, and not knowing that he can see the bigger picture. So it was this meme that was out where this guy was just keep asking and complaining and criticizing and then condemning everything around him, and everybody else was dragging their cross. Nobody were complaining. Everybody was just focused on the finish line. When they got to the end of the road where there was of the mountain, and there was this big ditch, but in order to get to the other side, the plan was you had to put your cross around throw your cross over the little ledge, and you had to walk over. Well, guess what? He complained so much about how big and how small and how heavy and how short and how long his cross was. Everybody else that wasn't complaining got an opportunity to cross over with no problem and pick their cross back up and kept it moving, when he had to start from the beginning all over again. So don't be like the guy that enjoyed criticizing, condemning, and complaining and murmuring the whole way to the finish line and still couldn't cross over. All you end up doing is starting from scratch all over again. And it's sad sometimes if you're seeing yourself in a cycle consistently and you're like, man, I thought I had passed this, I thought I had won, oh, why am I repeating the same thing over and over? It's because you kept complaining, you kept condemning, you kept criticizing, you kept trying to shorten your load, and not knowing that the Lord has already seen the bigger picture, and you're part of the plan, and you have to be able to go. Gino P, he said, focus. I'm telling you, brother Gino, hermano. Oh my gosh, I was gonna have to do some bob and weaving. I'm sorry, like literally, brother Gino. He had an issue, like he had a problem because I questioned. And that's the thing, not everybody can handle questioning, especially if you have a low self-image. You always feeling that somebody's attacking you, when in reality you just need clarification. I only wanted him to clarify if I was at the right place, but he took offense to me, and he turned around and said, oh, you don't want to give me the product, and oh, you this and the other thing. He started to like attack me, and I'm like, listen, I'm in charge of the products that I'm bringing, and your name don't look like Patricia. Okay, I need Patricia to give me the approval in order for me to drop the products off to her. But because Patricia was in her own space doing her own thing, and sent out this intoxicated dude to deal with me, and I'm on my holiness walk, but I just want you to know that all my little Taekwondo classes were gonna come into part today. Okay, sure. Just kidding, guys. I'm just messing with you. But I'm just saying that was the worst position. That was the first time I felt uncomfortable with during my delivery on Walmart Spark. Like I felt like I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be, this not a good situation. And then he kept talking to me. He couldn't face me because I was praying at the same time. When you're in a position like that, oh my gosh, let me tell you, this is why we wear or keep our head covered. You keep your head covered because sometimes you got to bust out in that prayer, and sometimes it's that big prayer that, Lord, take them out. Take them out right now. Like, they're coming for me, and I was glad that even though I was scared, I just knew that I was covered, and I started to pray like, Lord, protect, guide, direct, redirect, position, shield, whatever's going on. It was just didn't feel right, and he couldn't face me. He kept looking at me, and I kept looking at him, because I'm like, I'm gonna look you in the eye, because anyhow you start looking crooked, I'm gonna have to go get that dolly in the back. Like I was looking around. You never know when you're in tough situation, guys. All of your little holiness practice just go out the window, because you got figure out reality. And I was in a reality state. No, he did not attack. No, he did not come, but I just felt uncomfortable. Okay, what he said, because he was uncomfortable, that I questioned him, so he was offended, and he was intoxicated. And a person with low self-esteem plus intoxicated, and they feel uncomfortable because you asked them a question, that's the part where he was on. And I just was so glad when the lady came out. I dropped that product off and I left, and I pray to God to keep those away from me, because I don't have any energy. That was the first Walmart Spark that I've been on that I just felt like, whew, my gosh, it's a bad position to be in. So be careful, guys. Be cautious. It was broad day, so I can scream real loud. I was going, something was going to give, but I'm just saying, it was just a bad position. So that's the first negative of all of my gig work that I experienced was the one that I did today. And I felt uncomfortable just because I was dealing with insecure grown men that was intoxicated. That's why I keep telling guys, especially my ladies, not to do any cash deliveries during this holiday time. Why? Because you never know when that person is going to come out there and they're intoxicated, and when they're going to try to, and you can't do. I don't do cash because I don't need to have no extra conversation with nobody that's coming out there talking about, hey, I'm missing $10. Me and you ain't gonna shoot. I'll do that. Didn't get session for no cash money. So my advice during the hustle that off on DoorDash, all of your alcohol deliveries, because I am on my holiness walk, I don't deliver alcohol and tobacco, so I toggle it off. The next one I was advising, depending on the scenario, it or not during the holidays, you could toggle off shopping deliveries, because the lines are crazy, the people is wild and crazy. It's a lot of back and forth with lines and pushing and stuff. To try to be safer, just pick it up from the restaurant, drop it off at the house. Pick it up from the restaurant, drop it off at the house. If you were doing Walmart Spark, if you were doing deliveries, don't do no deliveries no more than 8 to 10 items, and make it worth your while. Like these are the tips that I'm wanting you guys to learn. So when you do start in the gig, you will understand, like Sister Paulette said, don't do that one, because she already did the experience for us and she don't want us to repeat it. Or I'll tell you guys, be very cautious not to get in altercation with nobody either. Just let it go, guys. Like Elsa would say, let it go, like Frozen. Okay, we are not here to argue with nobody. If you get into any dilemma on a cash and delivery or any type of delivery, remember, customer service is your best friend, and sometimes you're gonna lose. Okay, some people may grab the grocery. You may be going in the parking lot and delivering it to the person's house, and they come in and they'll take their stuff and don't pay you. Don't look to argue with nobody. You'll be like, okay, no problem. You have a blessed day. You walk away, call customer service, be like, this person fraudulently took the item and I don't know how to deal with it, and they'll tell you, don't worry, make sure that you're safe, and you will still get compensated for it. That's one thing with DoorDash. As far as I've known, they definitely will compensate you for your scenarios or whatever you're going through. So don't feel like you have to put yourself out there, like what Pastor would say. Don't be going out there fighting in the name of First Church. Leave that to the big dogs. Leave that for the people that know how to defend, know how to do what they got to do. You stay in your little lane and be blessed. Okay, don't be going out there trying to fuss and fight with a bunch of false prophets trying to figure it out. That's the same thing in the gig economy. You don't be going up against no person that's trying to do you wrong or trying to steal something from you. All that is insured. Call customer service and they'll handle it, and you make sure that you're safe. Okay, and you only bob and weave if you have to. Don't be going in there trying to, like, well, don't know. You get away safely and go about your business. It's okay. Call customer service to handle it. Let's see what's up in there. Hello, Brother Gino P and Sister Nicole. Welcome in. Welcome in. Sister D. Nicole. Peace and blessings to you too, sisters. Well, anyway, guys, that's all. Oh, by the way, today on another thing, I think it was yesterday, I had another scenario similar. Okay, another customer with a bad attitude. Guys, January is all about bad attitude, but you are working on your patience. You're working on improving yourself and increasing your mental capability to tolerate foolishness. I'm working on tolerating. So maybe that's why I'm having scenarios, because I'm a zero tolerance for foolishness type of person. But I don't know, last year I've been working on breathing in, breathing out, and allowing people to be themselves. Okay, I love people to be themselves because they're going to be true to who they are. A liar is going to lie. A thief is going to be a thief. And a con artist is going to be a con artist. The difference is to know them when you see them. But let them be who they're going to be. People's not going to change. Okay? They're going to be a scorpion by nature is going to sting you. But if you know the scorpion is going to sting you, you'll be able to better adjust your sail so you can deal with it. So that's just life. So in the gig economy, you're going to learn how to deal with certain scenarios, certain individuals, certain people, and you're going to know when to just stay in your seat, stay silent, and back off. Okay, but yeah, she had an attitude too. She was like trying to do all of this. I would call it, all the ghetto-ness. She was bringing it out. I'm sorry, if that's a bad word. I think it was another word I said I was going to use. I can't remember it by now, but a little lighter word. But she was all up in there like this and telling me what, and you were supposed to be here from 40 minutes ago, and it's 1 hour, and you're not here. Girl, she thought that I was her husband or her wife or something. This lady was going in. So I'm like, I ain't going back and forth with you. So I called her on the phone and we had a conversation. And I said, ma'am, I'm in traffic. I'm trying to get to you. I don't see you. All these intoxicated people is coming up. Leave Paulette alone. I'm just trying to get in my bag. I'm just trying to deliver you your product and get my shmoney. That's all I want to do. But she thought she was going to come, and I read her rights, and I handed her product, and I handed her change, because that one was a cash delivery, and she turned around. I didn't even want her tip at that time. That's how I was a little bit irritated in my feelings. And she came along, and just when I was walking off, and she said, here you go. And she handed it to me, and she smiled at me, and like to say, now, well, we're friends now. And I was like, no, we're not. Some people are not even gonna get a smile from me when you suck all my energy out on you, So I literally told my sisters, I'm going home now. I'm not messing with this. This is crazy. But you're gonna find some crazy people out there, guys. 2026 ain't gonna change. It's just a different year. It's you that need to adjust yourself. I need to adjust how I want to deal with all of the crazies. All the scenarios, I need to master it. I can't point fingers at how you gonna deal with me in regards to it. I only can share or fix my response. And today, 2026, was one scenario that I pray to God I don't go back in, because I didn't like it one bit. Okay, it was uncomfortable. Even though, it was broad day, it was a little uncomfortable. So beware, guys. Be cautious. Be careful. I know not all money is worth it, but sometimes you're going to win, you're going to lose. It's like everybody's scared to die, but you could walk out of your house today and just walk out and fall down and hit your head and you're gone. You don't know when you're going. You don't know who's going to take you out. Just know that you be ready. Just make sure that you're prayed up and that you're ready, and just keep pushing forward, because life is going to be life, and life is not going to stop for you. Okay. And if you don't like what's in your cycle, in your circle right now, only you can change it. Only you can adjust it, and stop blaming everybody else. Take responsibility for your actions. And that's my 2026 little advice and words of encouragement for you guys. It ain't gonna happen unless you make the first move. So anyway, make some changes. Expect that everything that God had promised you is going to come to pass, and you got to just expect. This is a year of expectation, guys. 2026, expect everything to fall into place accordingly. I ain't fussing, I ain't fighting. Everything must move smoothly, and if it's too rough around the edges, Paulette is not going to fight to get in. Okay, nope, we don't do it over here. Nope, we don't do it over here. Anyway, guys, I love y'all. I got to go. Okay, deuces, sisters, brothers. Bye bye.